Today we're back at Alton Towers for a very special day. Where today I'm not only going to be climbing Nemesis, but also getting a behind the scenes look at some never before seen bits and bobs of Nemesis, like the station, the maintenance bay, and we're going to take you along for the experience. Everything that we can show. There's a few bits that we can't, but there's a few bits that we definitely can include in the walk, and it's going to be a good day. I can't wait for it. So this is the ride we're going to be seeing later in much more detail and going behind the scenes of Nemesis. I've just had one of my favourite ever rides on Nemesis, front row on the left, and wow, with all the waterfalls on as well, all the back ones there, these ones not. Same, the drop was kind of a little bit on, but it was really good. It felt like, well, my feet were going to crack against the rocks, I guess, but it did. It was a really, really good ride, really good. Felt like I was almost flying. I think you get more of a flying sensation on Nemesis than actually Galactica. Such a good ride. Can't wait for this behind the scenes tour later on. See the operator's booth and everything as well. What a ride. It's also great now that you got Toxicator as well, just behind Nemesis. And it really does tie together Forbidden Valley really well. And maybe in the future Galactica will also get done, but this front half of Forbidden Valley is really well complete now, especially when maybe something in the future comes and replaces Blade. So at 5:45, the Nemesis behind the scenes tour began. And yeah, there's about 12 of us. We both got split into two groups of 6 and 6. We both, well, one group went up the lift hill first, which was my group. And then the other group went to do more behind the scenes stuff, like the maintenance bay, the operator's booth and stuff like that. So yeah, we didn't even have to get geared up. I thought we were gonna have to get those little pretzel, you know what I mean, like things on. Yep, them. But yeah, then we were ready to basically go, and we exited the station. We had like a little few photos on the platform where the train goes over, and then we started beginning walking really, and we went all the way to the top. We had a photo session at halfway as well, and then when we got to the top we take photos. We could recreate John Wardley's classic photo as well, and it was just really nice. We got a few questions and had answers from the team as well on Nemesis. Very experienced people as well who worked on Nemesis for over like 10 years and stuff like that. So very interesting to hear their thoughts on like operating, hosting the ride as well, which is very interesting. They were happy to take pictures as well. You had to put your phone in like one of those waterproof casings, but to be fair, it didn't really make a difference to any of the photo quality. I thought anyway. We then walked back down Nemesis and went underneath. Well, it's all kind of underneath, but you know what I mean, underneath the station. And this was really interesting in here. You couldn't film in here or anything, but like they had all the audio visual cabinet which all the soundtrack and announcements play from. I think it's also, they said, connected to Toxicator, so it's all wired back to Nemesis. There was networking cabinets on the left. There was like a PC and a desk where they said B&M would sit and monitor the ride, which is interesting. And there was like, it was a bit of a museum down there actually. They had like you know, bits and bobs of Nemesis, like wheels and then old merchandise as well from like '94, which was quite interesting to see actually. I'm not sure why you couldn't film in here, I don't know, but it was interesting to see. Obviously we then worked our way back up and went to the brake run where all the magnetic brakes are. That was really interesting to see in detail, telling us how why and how they upgraded it to magnetic brakes rather than the old braking system on Nemesis. That was interesting. Getting up and close with the train as well, outside in daylight, was really cool to see all like the little details on the train, very geeky stuff. We didn't get to go in the maintenance bay, which I thought was something that we would be able to do, but we didn't get to go in there. So maybe on the next tour it would be nice to actually go in there, but we did kind of see it from the outside, which is pretty cool. And then yeah, we went back in the station, had a look at the kicker wheels, and then got to see the operator's box, which we couldn't film in or we couldn't step in. We had to kind of watch from the outside. That would have been nice to go in. I'm pretty sure in the Oblivion tour I got to go in the operator's box, so I'm not sure why you can't on Nemesis. But they've got loads of stats and facts in there. How many trains have been dispatched in the year, which is something like 14,000, I'm pretty sure. How many trains have been dispatched in the day, which was like around 200, I think, which is, you know, pretty reasonable for a Sunday. And yeah, it was really interesting actually to see all the operator's box, see where they press the announcements. That was really cool. Probably one of the highlights of the tour for me actually. It would have been nice if we could just go in, maybe press a button even. On the Oblivion tour we got to do that. But yeah, that is pretty much the tour. It costs £90. I'd definitely say it's worth it, especially if you're into roller coasters and theme parks, which I assume you are. But yeah, definitely one of the best tours at Alton Towers. Saying that, I've only done Oblivion, but this is definitely better than the Oblivion one. I'd like to do Wickerman, maybe Hex at some point, but I have done all of the tours at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and they are really good Blackpool. So I'd probably say Nemesis is better than the Big Dipper tour, but not maybe as good as Walk the Big One XL, which was a really, really good tour. Really like that one. But overall, it's pretty good, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. I had a good couple of hours. It was 2 hours in total, quarter to 6 to quarter to 8, 7. Yeah, that works out right. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this tour. I definitely recommend it. £90, definitely recommend it. You get a lift hill walk, you get a behind the scenes look, you get a look at the operator's box. Out of all the walks I've done, I'd say this is definitely up there. It's definitely better than the Oblivion walk. I haven't done the Wickerman or Hex. I've done all of the ones at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And I have to say, Blackpool do really, really well with these kind of tours. And kind of kick-started it in the UK, really. But I'd say it's better than Walk the Woody. But I wouldn't say it's maybe on the level of Walk the Big One XL. That was an amazing walk. I really, really like that one. But it is really good. Nemesis Reborn behind the scenes. I'd love Alton Towers to do more of these. If there was a Smiler one, I would literally be booking it right now. But yeah, there we go. Nemesis behind the scenes tour at Alton Towers. A huge thanks to the team. They were really good, and we had a good laugh, and they were really good with us, taking photos and telling us information as well. Really knowledgeable, and some stuff that you wouldn't usually hear because they've operated the ride, for so many years. It was really interesting to hear their perspective of Nemesis. But overall, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.